Are you ready for some trivia? Let's go. What was the first heavy metal album to ever debut at #1 on the Billboard 200? Dr. Feelgood. Slave to the Grind. Appetite for Destruction. Shout at the Devil. Slave to the Grind. Before he was known as Axl Rose, what was his birth name? William Bailey. Saul Hudson. Michael Rose. Steven Adler. William Bailey. Which member of Motley Crüe famously had a custom-built roller coaster drum kit? Nikki Sixx. Mick Mars. Tommy Lee. Vince Neil. Tommy Lee. What is the name of the New Jersey town where Skid Row formed? Newark. Jersey City. Toms River. Atlantic City. Toms River. Which legendary guitarist did Slash catch in bed with his mother? Eddie Van Halen. David Bowie. Jimmy Page. Keith Richards. David Bowie. Which Motley Crüe album features the hit Kickstart My Heart? Theater of Pain. Girls, Girls, Girls. Dr. Feelgood. Shout at the Devil. Dr. Feelgood. Who was the original lead singer of Skid Row during their peak commercial years? Johnny Solinger. Sebastian Bach. Eric Grunwald. Tony Harnell. Sebastian Bach. What iconic GNR song was released on the GNR Lies EP and became a massive radio hit? Patience. Night Train. Civil War. Estranged. Patience. Which band member wrote the band's autobiography, The Dirt? The whole band. Nikki Sixx. Vince Neil. Tommy Lee. The whole band. What song did Skid Row release in 1989 that became their highest charting pop single? 18 in Life. Monkey Business. Wasted Time. Youth Gone Wild. "18 in Life." Who is the lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses? Izzy Stradlin. Slash. Richard Fortus. Gilby Clarke. Slash. What is the title of the 1991 Skid Row song that features a haunting video about a prisoner on death row? 18 in Life. Quicksand Jesus. Wasted Time. Monkey Business. "18 in Life." Which band member famously joined Guns N' Roses after playing in the band Road Crew? Axl Rose. Slash. Duff McKagan. Steven Adler. Duff McKagan. Which city is Motley Crüe famously associated with? New York. Hollywood. Seattle. London. Hollywood. What was the band's name before they settled on Skid Row? The Crue. Trickster. Kid Courage. Motley. Kid Courage. How much did it cost to produce the album Chinese Democracy, making it one of the most expensive ever? 5 million, 10 million, 14 million, 20 million. 14 million. Which guitarist replaced Mick Mars in 2023? John 5. Zakk Wylde. Nuno Bettencourt. Phil Collen. John 5. What is the name of Skid Row's 1989 self-titled debut album? Skid Row. Slave to the Grind. Subhuman Race. Revolver. Skid Row. What was the original name of the band that eventually became Guns N' Roses? Hollywood Rose. L.A. Guns. Both A and B, neither. Both A and B. Which Motley Crüe member was legally dead for 2 minutes due to a heroin overdose? Vince Neil. Nikki Sixx. Tommy Lee. Mick Mars. Nikki Sixx. In 1991, which major band did Skid Row tour with during the peak of their popularity? Mötley Crüe. Bon Jovi. Guns N' Roses. Aerosmith. Guns N' Roses. Which GNR song features a famous piano intro and a long, epic music video filmed in the desert? November Rain. Sweet Child of Mine. Paradise City. Welcome to the Jungle. November Rain. Which Motley Crüe member sang Home Sweet Home? Vince Neil. Nikki Sixx. Tommy Lee. Mick Mars. Vince Neil. Who produced Skid Row's first 2 studio albums? Bob Rock. Michael Wagner. Bruce Fairbairn. Mutt Lange. Michael Wagner. What is the subtitle of the 2 Use Your Illusion albums? 1 and 2. A and B. Part 1 and 2. Red and Blue. 1 and 2. Which band member is the only one to have played on every Motley Crüe studio album? Mick Mars. Tommy Lee. Nikki Sixx. Vince Neil. Nikki Sixx. What is the opening track of Slave to the Grind? Monkey Business. Slave to the Grind. The Threat. Psycho Love. Slave to the Grind. Which song did GNR cover on the Spaghetti Incident? That was originally written by Charles Manson. Look at Your Game, Girl. Ain't It Fun? Hair of the Dog. Buick McCain. Look at Your Game, Girl. What was the name of Motley Crue's first studio album? Too Fast for Love. Shout at the Devil. Theater of Pain. Dr. Feelgood. Too Fast for Love. Who replaced Steven Adler as the drummer for GNR? Matt Sorum. Frank Farrer. Josh Freese. Brain. Matt Sorum. Which Motley Crüe member was involved in a fatal car accident in 1984? Nikki Sixx. Vince Neil. Tommy Lee. Mick Mars. Vince Neil. Which album was the band's first to reach #1 on the Billboard 200? Shout at the Devil, Theater of Pain, Dr. Feelgood, Girls, Girls, Girls. Dr. Feelgood. What was the name of the 1995 album that marked the departure of Sebastian Bach? Subhuman Race, Thick Skin, Revolver, United World Rebellion. Subhuman Race. While the world knows Appetite for Destruction as a massive success, the band originally recorded a different EP to build buzz in 1986. What was the title of this rare live studio hybrid EP? GNR Lives. Live Like a Suicide. The Spaghetti Incident? Civil War. Live Like a Suicide. During their 1991 tour, Skid Row toured extensively with Guns N' Roses. Which original GNR member famously invited the band to join the tour after hearing their demos? Axl Rose, Slash, Duff McKagan, Izzy Stradlin. Duff McKagan. Which GNR song was the first to be written by the band specifically for a movie soundtrack, appearing in the 1991 film Terminator 2: Judgment Day? You Could Be Mine. Civil War. Knocking on Heaven's Door. Estranged. You Could Be Mine. Before Rachel Bolan and Dave "The Snake" Sabo formed the band in New Jersey, Dave Sabo was actually an early member of which other legendary rock band before being replaced by Slash? Motley Crüe, Poison, Guns N' Roses, Wrapped. Guns N' Roses. Which album is the best-selling debut album of all time in the U.S.? Use Your Illusion 1, Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses Lies, Chinese Democracy. Appetite for Destruction. What beer inspired the name Mötley Crüe and the use of umlauts? Budweiser, Heineken, Lowenbro, Miller High Life. Lowenbro.